Test. Hey, hey, hey. What's up? White nights, drippy nights. Turkey, yeah. I'm gonna make some turkey tomorrow. I need to get it. Does Walmart still has turkey left? I don't know. I didn't get turkey yet, so I hope I get it tomorrow. Welcome to Drip Rookie DJ Moore. Cool logo. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Our mics are on. Can you hear me? Welcome, CEOs. No more turkeys left? Yeah, I'm just waiting a little bit for folks to join. Oh, yeah, man. I wish I could come over. Oh, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, if like one thing I'll suggest is that if people you make money out of trading, you should reinvest their money in getting the setup for trading. Like this guy got a monitor, LGGD out, bro. That's amazing. I think that's gonna help your gains even more because having that kind of setup is really important. Yeah, I will not get frozen turkey. Yeah, of course. I'm just waiting for more folks to join a little bit. Let's see if we can get to 150 folks. Right now we have 127. There's unusual whales in the supermarket. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. Uh 10 phones, 10 raw accounts, yeah. I know, man. I need sandwich. Yeah. Please buy a monitor. I think I don't have a affiliate link, but just buy it. Oh yeah, yeah. If you do photography, you'll still need it. Someone asked me, can I give my background a little bit? Well, I think I covered this in the past. Now I'm planning to make a video on this in the future, like in detail. But basically, background is software engineering, and I've worked on some softwares for Flow in the past. But never really traded options. Is trading crypto, just investing passively. But then I was like, well, if I know so much about this flow data, I might as well start using it. And just started watching TA. Luckily, I just got uh, really good at TA. I don't know. I just like maybe it's more like I'm a visual kind of person, so it's easy for me to like I have like that intuition for kind of understanding price action, like just raw price action. So that's the reason why I think I learn fast. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Unusual whales increases my discount code. I hope so, man. Trading view screener. Yes, JC Sabali. I know, bro. You have been asking me for last, I don't know, like 2 3 days now. I know I've written down your request. I will make a separate video on how to use scanners. It is on my mind. I'll do it, bro. I promise you. Okay, so we have almost 148 folks. So I think we're just waiting for two more people. All right, there we have 150 people. So I'm gonna start with today's trades. So first, I want to talk about losers because those are important as well. So let's look at GS trade today, okay? So hey, welcome everyone. Uh, guys, be respectful to each other, okay? Um, so this was GS, chart, and I shared this chart a while back on Twitter. So, couple things to keep in mind first is that this setup is like up and handle. GS has had a similar pattern in the past here. Not exactly, but similar to this pattern where it kind of creates, like you see here, kind of like this pattern, and then it breaks out. It 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 has a tendency to do it, right? And very similar here, it didn't even have a flag, but you can see it had a consolidation. This was a perfect consolidation going on here, and then it broke out. So now this is why it matters to know the history of a stock, because every stock is different. So in this video, I want to talk about one thing which I think I haven't focused in the past, is knowing the nature of this stock. And I'm going to build upon this for PANW. This is Goldman Sachs GS, and I'm going to talk about PANW later, but we're going to build upon this idea that every stock has a nature, and every stock tries to like if we can identify patterns from the past performance, maybe we can judge the future performance, like what it might do, right? So that's one part of the equation. The second part of this equation is, my screen is foggy. um I don't know if, how is that possible? um okay, well, okay, let me know. Is my cursor visible to everyone? Last time I think someone told the cursor wasn't visible. Okay. um so so this is the thing I want to talk about, is that nature of the stock, and we saw here that there was the other factor which I was going to talk about, was the macroeconomic events. We have been anticipation of the interest rate being we see that it might get a hike, and the reason is because everywhere in the world we are seeing inflation right now, and that's not a good sign for high growth stocks. And that's why you see that these stocks like Jamia, right, which is basically Amazon of South Africa, right? So I mean, look at this chart. I mean, it's been on a just like a it's just beaten up chart, right? And what does that tell us, right? That like these growth stocks are not doing well in economies which are suffering from inflation, and US is no exception to this. So that's why we saw that big drawdown, right? We saw this in Asana, right? Big massive drawdown. And then we saw the same in these high growth names, all cloud names, and because they suffer the most because of interest rate hikes, because these are high growth company, their price to earnings ratio is like not comparable to some of the older companies like Seagate, for example, which like you see this rally in this company. The reason is that these companies have good balance sheet, and they have good uh, customer base have been like tried and tested over time, so the inflation worries are less with these, and that's why we have cost growing as well. Like look at cost. I mean, it just doesn't give a fuck about, sorry for using, but it just doesn't give anything about any damn about anything in the world. It's just non-stop being ripping every day. So I mean, these are all because of the inflation worries. That's the macroeconomic event. So going into GS now, Now my thought process was that, I alerted on Twitter that I'm planning to long GS, and the reason was that interest rates are, we have news on that. But again, what one thing I told was that, it needs to break 406 level here. And the other day, day before, sorry, yesterday, we saw that close was really good, solid close on it, right? But it kind of entered right at this supply area right here. You can see this previously drawn here. You see here, these are like a key inflection points here. So we have to keep that in mind, and that's why it closed at 406 and it rolled up to 4010, and that's why we took profits from 405. Someone commented that, oh, I lost money on GS. Well, how is that possible to lose money when we made money on this the other day, 23rd? And what we did was rolled up the contracts. So what does that mean was that we took the profit from all the way from here. We got that drip on space call. I alerted this. We got this day, we got this day, we got this day. So made overall 500% plus, I think, on this trade. All right. So, well, if that's the case, then if we are rolling up, the final roll up, will always fail, because either your contracts will expire worthless or you'll see pullbacks, and that's what happened today. But it was a more nastier pullback than I expected, and that's where the trade went sideways for us. So let's evaluate what happened. Market open here. You can see here that this is the yesterday's high at 3 o'clock. It tried to create, right? And then when you go back and look at the market, I'm gonna replay that. So this was basically market was about to open. Let me just speed it slow. All right, so you see here, like, it tried to rip through this level here. Now observe here, first thing it did was create a new low, and this is where I like kind of got some contracts. I didn't alert because it was a risky trade. And then I saw this big rip coming through, and I thought this is gonna, look at this candle, right? I thought this is gonna just rip through it, but the mistake, I guess, was that I didn't look at the volume here. It was a stronger volume than this candle, and this is just speculation, of course. It's not gonna. It could have been a higher volume bar, but like, look what happened next. We saw this drawdown here. It didn't close, below this for more than one candle. Market open, and it was a nasty drawdown itself, because you can see here it was engulfing this whole candle here. That was another sign to kind of proceed with caution. But this is Goldman Sachs. It kind of does that market open. You can see here it did the same thing yesterday. So I was like, okay, well, but now you're seeing this sell off continue. These are 3 red candles in a row right now, and notice this low it created, right? So now it broke through this and created a new low. So this is an opening range for first I don't know, like 10 minutes. So first 5-minute opening range, and it broke through it. So I was like, okay, well, might happen is that it might get a pullback to maybe like around this area, try to retest this area. So I was like, okay, I'll start try to add up a little bit around 400. And at this point of time, of course, I had stop loss for 4010s, and 4010 stop loss hit, but my plan was to add them back. But then it's just seeing here a nasty pullback here, not even getting any kind of push from bulls here. And this was where I was like, okay, it looks like it might call back up, because it's still kind of 10 o'clock. So and this was where I made the mistake of kind of assuming that this is going to consolidate and then go back up, but it never closed below this EMA. Like, it just kept going down and down and down, and got stopped out multiple attempts to buy, but kept getting stopped out. And then I had I always leave some runners on. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep a couple contracts. And then it tried to kind of I told that 401.6 4 level is important for it to kind of um, retest and come back, but the pullbacks didn't happen. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I don't want to waste time on this. But yeah, I mean, there are no signs of reversal yet, but now it's starting to show some signs of reversal, right? You can see it's coming back here, and it's trying to break through this resistance, but didn't happen. It didn't break through this level. And this is where I started to kind of like scale out a little bit. And I still had some contracts left, hoping that maybe we'll see some kind of double bottom formation here and then reversal, because that's another possibility. Because in my mind, it's still a bull run, like, it's still a bullish, but that didn't happen, and it was overall just a trending red day for it. I think it broke below this or something. I saw this volume bar here just consolidating, and then this was just a last market close, and nothing, it didn't have nothing happened. So it's just cut my loss on the remaining contracts. But key thing to keep in mind is that was house money. So I could have just let that money ride all the way to zero, but I still was in profit because it was a roll up from previous 2 days. So I'd never put roll ups more than my house money, and that's why I never lose on a winning trade. Um, uh, so there's a question about when I play opening trades, like how do I manage my stops? I mean, that's a good question, and these are very risky trades, and that's why I never alert them, because the only thing I keep in mind is that I'm seeing on first red candle pullback. Usually, if you see like on a bullish run previous 2 days, right? I'm expecting it to continue. I'm expecting bulls to be in charge here. So uh, I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy the dip. That's what I thought, and I bought the dip here. But you know, these are always risky. You can never guess it can go below as well. So you just have to keep tight loss and put bid minus 20-30% market open. Like I put my bid around here, and I put like minus 30%, and it got filled around here. So, but I got lucky because it could have gone down as well. Yeah, roll up is the way to go, like you don't lose money, and also you don't lose the gains which might have. And I'll talk about roll up in PANW as well. Okay, so I don't want to take too much of your time on one trade, so let's move on to the next trade, which was MRNA. Now mRNA market open, like I already let's go to the daily chart for mRNA, right? um, now look at this chart. I mean, like, it's a really good setup. These it just like it has this big gap up, this information. We know mRNA can make big moves in a day. It's Wednesday. It's right above this EMA. Like I created this fib level from this to this point, so it's right above this EMA. It's trying to reverse back, and it's right above these this fib level EMA. So it's very strong support, right? Confluence of so many support levels here on a daily chart. So my mind was that, okay, mRNA, I'm gonna buy dips every time I get an opportunity in the morning, and that's what I was like, okay, well, market open, right? SPY dumps, QQQ starts dumping, and this was the 9:30 candle, right? Now, always have your levels in place. So I'm gonna really quickly tell you how I created my kind of like area where I'll start buying was around this area right here. I clean my charts, like, so. Wait one sec. Sorry about that. I want to change this color to green. I always keep green color for the demand zone. So basically it was around this high. You can see here is this previous inflection point, and you see here this area was another dip buy. So in my mind I'm like expecting buyers to be around this area, to around this area. It's not perfect always, but so now market opens here. Where is it? Right here. So let's do this one, right? Let me speed up. Okay, so market opens here, and then first thing you see this nasty candle here, right here. And this is where I was ready with MRNA. I had everything on my tape ready. I had level orders set in my mind. My first trade was going to be MRNA. I had it in my mind because the setup looks really good, and mRNA can pay me instantly. I love the trading mRNA, and this is why I was like, I'm gonna at least try to buy the dips. So you see where I'm coming from. Like, all this planning was already in advance a day before and in the morning leading up to it. And this is the reason why I have conviction in the trade. You as a beginner, and you haven't even seen the chart, and you come and jump and take my trades, you don't have any conviction and you lose money, because you will sell easily. You won't be able to kind of like hold through it, because it's just so volatile, and you don't have that confirmation and conviction like I do. And that's the reason why a lot of, like, people either don't take the trades in the morning, which I understand, or they take the trades and they lose because they have no idea about levels or anything, right? And we are seeing here that on the even like on the daily chart, uh, let's go back to 30 minutes, and you can see here that this is acting as a resistance for a while, this whole trend line area, right? So the goal was that it might break this, and we might get a retest of the peak of this, which is 285. It might happen tomorrow, sorry, it might happen on Friday, so it's on high watch again. But so let's play forward and see what happened. And so literally got the dip here. I think the entry price was like 3.2 or something, or I think around that area, right? And started kind of scaling out here, because what I do is, like, when I'm buying market open and I see this kind of price action, I am taking profits, because this is easy money. This was easy money. So I'm like, okay, my contract price is 3.2. I have, like, let's say 10 contracts, right? Then I'm like starting to scale out some here, because, and then I move my stop here to some, like, so for example I had stop at 3.8. I also alerted that I'm moving my stop up, and the reason is that this is market open. Once you have a good entry, doesn't matter, I don't want to lose money, and I already made some money, so I'm like, I'm gonna put it to break even and even more above, because I don't want to lose on it. And I got stopped out here for one or a couple contracts, because I had stop around this area. For example, I had stop at 4, 3.8, 3.5, 3.3. This is how I like, keep a ladder of stops. So even if you say that, like, options are volatile, well, at least if it comes back, let's say that if it dumped, I would have stopped out, but still no loss. And let's say that it pulled back but went up again, I would have stopped down on a couple contracts, but I still have remaining. So this is the key. This is what I talk about, scale in and scale out, and this is how you place your order ladders. And this is advanced. I think you can do it on if you don't have active trader setup. So that's why I recommend you to do it. But then you start to see here that it start dumping. I got stopped out again for some of my other contracts, and at this point of time, I was like, okay, well, um, I'm gonna wait for the rest of my contracts to see now what's going on. And so when I saw this dip here, I actually added more little bit here, because I was like, okay, I already made some profit, so let me add a little bit more here. So this is what basically scaling in and scaling out means. You keep, like, scaling in, scaling out, and we're seeing that my entry price again was pretty good, because I'm like um, pretty comfortable holding these contracts here. It hasn't broken down yet. My stop is tight. and this is how you can trade market open. But you have to be super quick with it. And I was already in a couple trades at this point of time, by the way. So just like if you're a beginner, don't try to do everything. And now, we see that it's trying to break through the day's high. And this is where I started taking more profits, because I was like, okay, I gotta scale out a little bit. But we are seeing it just can't break this resistance, right? It just tried a couple times. I speeded this up a little bit. For scaling in, do you just still try to enter the bid or buy the mid? As always, enter the bid. I always either bid or below bid for MRNA, because MRNA has a wider stop. And you see here, like, the squeeze is starting to form here, and I'm like, okay, looks really good, because the squeeze might fire to the upside here, right? I mean, everything is telling us that the squeeze might fire to the upside, and but nothing really happened. The volume is drying up, and I looked at the flow, and flow was kind of nothing. People were selling calls, so that was another hint that it might not work out. But I still had like a couple contracts left, but nothing significant at this point of time. And I was just holding through a couple, and I was like, okay, well, nothing happened after this. It just consolidated whole day. Might as well just stop this. But pretty waste of premium. But nothing happened. It just couldn't break through, even though it was a perfect setup. And that's what happens. Market makers, if they decide that they don't want to, there's a big seller around this area, and it didn't give us that opportunity. But it's whatever, at least we made money out of it, so that's pretty good. So let's see, another question: what will determine how many contracts to buy? Well, it just depends on your account risk tolerance and stuff. Like um, let's say that your total position size is 5 contracts, right? You're gonna, let's say that you're willing to lose $500, $100 per contract. So you'll start with just one, and then scale in two, and then if it goes in your favor, maybe add more. Or what you can do is like just buy one, and then if the trend is continuing, then you can buy more. Like, I won't recommend anyone who is beginner to do stuff like which I'm doing here, because that's super super risky. And that's how also you get 1,000% gains, because you're literally starting at the bottom of day, and then it goes all the way to the high of day sometimes, which I'll talk about in PANW. So yeah, so what other trade would we take? SU was pretty interesting, right? My favorite trade of the day. This was as easy as it can get, man. Like, this is the cleanest trade in the trade books. So let me go back, show you the daily chart, which I actually shared with you on Twitter a day before I shared this chart, right? And we had this, right? I shared this the other day. I mean, like, I even shared, like, look at this chart: scalp handle breakout, now retested the CMA, and it just broke out. So yeah, I have a lot of videos on 11 and 2 p.m. rules. You can watch the other ones. I'm not gonna go over them in all the videos. If people are new, they should do the homework of watching the other videos which cover this. This is something which you have to do. The other videos are not like something which are to be taken lightly, because in every video I have so much information which, like, you might catch up on so many concepts which you will miss out if you keep thinking that, oh, it's an old trade video. Every trade video is gold, so just watch them and learn from them. And if you don't understand, then ask me again, I'll help you. So yeah, I mean, like, we are at this date, right? And I mean, what can we expect here? Like, SU, let's look at the flow for SU, right? Look at the open interest for SU. I mean, like, do you see any puts here? It's all calls. It's all for 26th of November. You see here the open interest for 20th 2023, $30 calls. Open interest is $34,000. Sorry, 34,000 contracts. And then we are seeing here $35, 20,000 open interest. So I mean, this is as good as it can get with respect to flow for some stocks like this, right? I mean, I'm not talking about today's flow. It's just like previous flow was so bullish. If you look at the history of this, it had a couple days where flow was 60%, 61%, and 16,000 contracts here, and the stock wasn't moving. You know, we didn't have any significant moves on the stock. So that means, someone is expecting a big move soon. And, that's what happens with some names. The option premiums are being purchased beforehand, the move, and we want to be part of that. And that's why I was like, we got a long SU, and entry matters a lot. So we entered this the other day. Look at the 5-minute chart. The previous day we entered SU was a trade. I alerted yesterday, and it was also a perfect execution because we entered. I alerted around here, and then exited right at 26 level here, right here. I think it was around here that I was like, I'm scaling out, and then I'm gonna roll up to 26, 27 contracts once I see low. But then, what happened was that it didn't really create a newer high. I was expecting it to kind of break out, but market started selling off, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy the dips. So at the end of day, I was like, okay, well, I think pretty much at around the close of day, I was like, I'm gonna add some contracts for 26 and 27. But 27 contracts were looking weird, so I ended up just getting 26 contracts, 26 call, $26 call. And and then let's see the market open now. And I was in Moderna by that time, and I alerted MRNA, so this is all happening together in front of me. Oh, sorry, I selected the wrong tool. So so it was right here, and then decrease the speed a little. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you what was going on in my mind. I mean, it just didn't even give any opportunities for us to enter here. Like, I was trying to alert, but like, no pullbacks. And this is why some trades you have to be in before. You have to take the chance because you will not get opportunity to get in, and that's what happened here. It's just insane rip. And I actually alerted about SU, or maybe I took the trade. I don't remember if I alerted, but I actually entered one more position here, middle. I was like, this is not stopping, let me enter. I just entered more, and then I made like 50% or something on that trade, on top of what I had. And it's just consolidating here. Nothing is happening. It didn't break high of the day, maybe like in the end of day, but the premiums were pretty much done. Let's just remove this. So yeah, that was the high of day right at 11 o'clock. So this is basically a perfect example of 11 a.m. rule. Like, it just created a high at 11, but then trend pretty much didn't continue. It just went down, but didn't really create a new high. It was just around the new high. So that's what 11 a.m. rule is. Like, it will either stay around the high, or it will break and create a new high, which will show in PANW example. So pretty awesome trade, pretty easy, clean trade, super easy money on this one, and can't get better than this, right? That's what I expect when I'm swinging something. Like, it opens up, breaks out, I get the money, I get out. But I still have 27 calls now. I got 27 on around this area. When I saw that it was testing the support, I was like, it's gonna bounce from here and create a new high. So I got 27 calls, and I still have them, and that's house money again. So if I lose them, it's fine. But I still have them because same thing can happen again. It can break in the morning, and I'll make more. So that's the reasoning behind it. uh, okay, so some I'm looking at this questions here. One sec. Dark mode on UW. Come on, man. There's so many things outside. 100% recommend this. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You gotta watch all the videos, man. There's just so much knowledge in it. I just like, if people were to charge for this stuff, they'll charge you guys a lot of money, I'm sure. But yeah, anyway, I mean, this was an awesome trade, clean as it gets. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I think it might create a new high, retest around this area, and we'll make some more tendies. Um, did you say how you knew to sell at the first peak? Well, that's the profit target I had set in my other platform. I mean, it's, um, you know, you look at the daily chart here, that's the resistance right here. I mean, it's super simple. You know, there's nothing much to think about here. I mean, it was ripping through, and this was the first resistance it hit, which was also pretty much high from last couple times it tried to retest. So I'm expecting sell off here. So that's the target. Thank you. Yeah, it was awesome. So let's talk about PNW. Call it a night. It was really amazing trade. If you didn't get the chance to enter the SU trade, would you have recommended? Yeah, I would have recommended to enter because the nature of the stock is that it rips through in the market. I did enter the trade. I just didn't get a chance to alert because I knew that it's gonna rip by the time I even give the alert. My trading platform is Fidelity, and my charting platform is TradingView. I have a video on it. You can check. Yeah, Matt is right. You guys set the rules for taking profit. He's absolutely right about this. Stick to your rules. My trading strategy is unique to me, and I don't think anyone on FinTwit you can just say that, oh, this guy alerted this chart and the other guy alerted the same chart. That means they both are, like have the same trade. Like someone might have taken PANW as a scalp and made 100%. A lot of people cannot trade uh, like intraday setups like I can. So it doesn't make sense. You should have your own profit target in mind. So you don't like I like Thinkorswim, but it's just I like TradingView better because in Thinkorswim you cannot do this like type fast. That's what matters when you are trading, right? I want to change charts really fast, and with TradingView you can do it really fast, and that's how I can look at some charts really fast just to see what's going on market open. Okay, so let's look at what other chart I was talking about was PNW, right? Okay, so let's just look at the chart first now, from a day before's perspective, right? PANW had a upgrade news. It's in a squeeze here, the chart, right? And had earnings were fantastic. Had multiple upgrades. Chart is looking really bullish. I mean, I've been watching this chart for last 3 4 days now. Even last week I've been watching this chart because I'm so uh, you know bullish on this chart just because every single factor is looking bullish. Flow was bullish. You can check my last video. The flow was bullish on it. So I mean, I've been watching this for last couple of days. We traded this the other day as well. We made 800,000% on this trade on a Monday. Like literally, that was another phenomenal trade. And we just like the same. Yeah, this one. We got like right. I alerted around here, and then it dipped here. It was a lotto call, added more here, and then let it rip through. I mean, it didn't even stop, right? So you know this stock is a beast. And then market dumped and it started dumping. So you know that this stock is a beast, right? And so going keeping that in mind, I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna look for dips here on this one, right? Just like MRNA. And I'm looking at the so where can I possibly buy the dips, right? And the obvious answer is right in front of us, right here, right here. I'm gonna move the 5 minutes so you can see properly. Yeah. Okay. So you see now? Did you see that? It's not magic. This is how you perfect your levels here. Let me show you again. You see these wicks here? They are buyers around this area. This is a demand zone for it. And this is a EMA support as well on the daily. We have a squeeze here. Everything is looking solid. So I'm expecting buyers to be around that area, and that's basically you saw here right where it landed was here. And I'm like, okay, well, looks perfect because I'm gonna start, this was around 9:30 it opened, and I was like, okay, I alerted around 9:54 because I was like, okay, I gotta be in PANW. And um, this is where things started. And how did I know 550 target? I mean, first target in my mind was this 544 area, because yesterday is basically it was high of the yesterday and then it broke down from there. So but the 550 45 strike had a very wide spread, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna get that one. So I looked at 550 and I saw the spread was pretty okay. The spread on this stock is not great, but that doesn't mean I don't want to take the trade. So what I did was I started placing bid orders, and some of my bids got filled on this pullback here. And I added more when I saw break out. We saw this candle here, and I was like, okay, well, so this was yesterday's kind of try to create, and this is a key pivot area right here. This was a key pivot area when the market was opening. So I was like, okay, if it can hold this area, then perfect, because then means that we are solid for it. So now we saw this like good, you see this good volume here. So I was like, okay, it looks pretty good. And I was like, okay, I'm going to buy the first pullback. Now, this is where nature of stocks come in, because some stocks, they start pulling around this green EMA, and then some have nasty pullbacks. And PANW is the one which has pullbacks, it has deeper pullbacks. It pulls back deeper. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start buying next pullback. I mean, got some contracts here, sold some here, and then I was like, right around this area when it couldn't hold, I started scaling out a little bit, but still holding my position. And then I started adding more here. I mean, nothing to worry about here. And then it broke out. And people are like, okay, well, now I'm like, okay, it's in a ripa mode already. You look, it just gapped up, and you saw this gap here. This is another point where I'm like, okay, if it dips, I'm gonna start buying right here, right around this area, because there was a gap, right? And this was also days high right here. So if it dips, this is where I will be looking to buy, because there are some unfilled bids here, right? Previous resistance hopefully turned to support, but it didn't even dip until here, like. So I was like, okay, that's a pretty bullish sign, because it didn't even dip and all the way. So again, scaled out a little bit here. When I saw this red candle, scaled out a little bit, but then I added more, and I alerted again that, let's buy the dip here. You see here now pattern. So right at this EMA, right at this area, these are good areas to buy the dip. I'm not gonna hesitate, right? It's still in an uptrend, and you can see here the uptrend is also intact, more or less, all the way until the end of day. You can see this trend line is also acting as a support. So absolutely no worries about this one in my mind. And now we are approaching, we approached 11 o'clock rule, and it created a new high at 11. And what that means is that there is a high chance either it closes around this area or it creates new highs. So every dip, I will try to buy as long as it's reasonable, right? And you can draw fib levels and stuff. I did all of them when I was trading, and they kind of align with this level. So bought dip here, again broke out, and this was our first target, 550, right? So started scaling out, and look where it got rejected was around here, yesterday's high. So this was another profit target I alerted, like I gave profit targets, and this was one of them. And you know this is how you can scale in, scale out all day. And you don't I didn't even sell my complete position, right? I was trading around my core position intraday. And I got this dip again. I mean, at this point I was like, okay, trend is intact, again a good opportunity. And at this point market was also looking good. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna add more. So I rolled up to 560s, still have some core position 550s. And then we see it create another high here, and just can't get better than that, man. uh, Sold 560s here since I don't want to keep out of money calls. Still have 550s with me because they are at the money almost. So time decay is not a big factor. But I mean, I think this was one of my best trades this week. And I think it was a good example of how to dip buy, you know. And hopefully you guys learned something from it. Yeah, I mean, fib levels. Okay, I can give you an example. So you see this and this and this right here. The swing low, swing high and swing low. And look these bounce. Where did it bounce? Look where did it bounce? Look where did it bounce? All key areas are aligning, folks. So it's not a magic. It's all technicals. You just need to know and do them right and do them instantly. A lot of people cannot think about these things when they are in the trade because all they're thinking about is profit and loss. It's like, oh, it's dipping. Well, things move in ebb and flow. What comes up has to come, like what goes up has to come down for buyers to come and step in. And this is a great example. Okay, so what else? Do you have any question? High and low. I mean, it high and low previous day is not a perfect like a every time, but it just swing high and swing low is basically what I mean. It doesn't have to be previous. It could be previous days is usually what I would look. I try to use if if the pattern is like this, but usually it's not. So you just have to go out, scale out, and look at swing high and swing low. Go to the 4 hours or previous 30 hour, like 30 minutes, just to see where's the swing low and high. You can figure it out. It's not that hard. How do I make my chart look so good? Because I don't have 1,000 indicators, man. I don't use 1,000 indicators. I mean, everything is here. Even these are extra. I mean, like when I'm trading, I remove everything. These matter on a daily time frame. They don't even matter on 5 minutes. So when I'm trading, all I do is I just remove these. I'm looking at clean chart because I want to see price action. Uh, yeah. If it punctures through the EMA, would you just get out? I will be cautious, but I'm not. I will have ladders placed. Let's say that it broke through this EMA, right? I will have stop orders placed here all the way until here because it might be a fake out, right? And I will most probably be buyer here because, you know, this is a key EMA which hasn't been broken yet. So there might be buyers right around here because there's previous structure as well. Can we talk about DWAC? Sure, we can talk about DWAC. DWAC was a gift today because now we can short this more. I mean, in my last yesterday I clearly told what could happen. It could, so it didn't break below this area. I said if it breaks below yesterday's high, we'll see more continuation down. That didn't happen. You see, it's got a double bottom, and then I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna short it once it's at a key level, and this is a key level. So I didn't enter a position yet because what I think is that it might retest this right around this EMA, like let it, it might consolidate here for a couple days. I don't want to burn my premium. And if you guys have future premiums, it's fine, it doesn't matter. Let's say you have like next week out or next week, which doesn't matter. You can keep them. They were still in profit. So that's what I meant. And now it's a gift because now we can short it more, and that's why I was like I want to short it more. So I mean, we already literally took profits all the way from here to here, and then this was on the house money, and also market opened. Come on, like this is basic stuff. You see this here, like how like why are you not paying attention to charts is my question. This is basic stuff. It didn't break below yesterday's low. It's a double bottom. And you see buyers stepping in here. Man, like as soon as I saw this, I cut my loss here on the house money, which was literally 10 cents because I had 35 dollars per contract was my average price for $30 put, and when I sold it, it was 25. So I lost $10 per contract on house money. I mean, this is basic stuff, folks. Like, you can always get in again, and like I would have added more if it broke down this area, but it never happened. So, and then it's flirting with this supply area now, and my hope is that if it retests around this area, 50, I don't think there's a chance it will do it, but I hope so because this is be a perfect area to start a short position again so we can make more profit. And this is why I like what happened today. Gives me more uh I think now my risk reward is better, right? Because now I can see it fall more. So in my opinion, this was a gift. Bot questions your entries. I don't know what you mean, man. Bot question your entries? What's bot? I don't know what. Well, let me just go through this chat here. Maybe I'm losing some context. Yeah. Extension works. Why not play puts on PANW as well? Because it's an uptrend. What? No, it's not done. DWAC. How it's done? Like I just gave you example. Well, if you think about profit and loss, that's what's gonna happen. Start thinking about charts and price action. Stop thinking about profit and loss. Because I don't even have my PNL open with on me, and this is the biggest reason why I'm not emotional. What's your final PT on DWAC? I mean, these are all the PTs here, right here. I think it's going around like, you know, 15, under 15 in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Right. When charge point hit 27.8, that was the time to bail yesterday. How deep do you set your stops? I set it based on levels mostly. So I just told you it's ladders. It's not a fixed percentage for intraday trades. For swings, I usually keep it 30%. FSLR was a pump and dump. What? Come on, guys. This, like, I don't understand. What do you mean by pump and dump? This stock, this company is a real company. It's a real stock. It's, how can it be a pump and dump? Like, I don't understand sometimes. Like, what do you mean by pump and dump? Like, it was an irregular price action. That was definitely something to think about, but it didn't break 110 as per my last video. And we got the dip here for December calls. I mean, what's so hard to understand in this one? We are seeing a big candle here. Something is going on. Maybe someone knows something about this stock, and it's a good entry area. This was a pretty good entry. Maybe we can get out. We still have time, but the chart looks good. You know, chart looks good. I mean, it's kind of like trying to break out of this channel, one way or the other. So people want to understand why. Well, I just gave the reason why. I haven't read Trading in the Zone, but I've heard good things about it. Maybe, would you guys be interested in kind of doing studies together? I can do a live stream where I can kind of read a chapter in advance and give you a summary of it with my thoughts on it. Let me know in comments if you like that idea. What's the play with FSLR? Watch my video. Last week's setup. Book club. Okay. I'll think about it. Why the volume spike? Who knows? I didn't read the news, but look good to me. Hey, hey, hey. Live trading, man. Live trading is fun, man. I love live trading with you guys. To be honest, like, I look forward to Fridays now because I am very comfortable live trading, but I just don't have like time to do it because I'm working on the side. What's for dinner? Sandwich. Bot, are you back holding Moderna? Because that's the only question you're asking. Did I learn from Ross Cameron? Who's that? No, I've watched a couple of her videos, but I didn't learn from him. We are not doing this Friday. I think Exclusive is doing with his Discord group. So um, I'll see if I can bring someone else on. Yeah, last Friday was amazing, man. Do you work? No, I don't have work tomorrow. Sandwich daily, yeah, kind of. Yeah, it has a gap to fill. It might fill it. Yeah, it will. It will. Shop was beautiful fun today. I'll check it. What percentage of my portfolio is crypto? Pretty much all of it. Am I doing IF? Yeah, I'm doing IF. No, we don't have Friday live trading, I think. At this Exclusive is busy. How far would you let the price retrace before it gives you red flag? I usually think like maybe two red candles or two green candles is sufficient if you're long or short to kind of gauge. Usually once you start looking at price action, you'll understand how a stock moves and how it retraces back. You need to study charts for every stock before you even trade them. Happy Thanksgiving, yeah. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something. Oh yeah, you asked me about this question, Matt, right? Like, I want to know about what determines your size you take on your trades. So yeah, this is a good question. Um, it's something I'm working on as well. So I don't really have a clear answer on this one. Is like how to determine the size which you put for based on conviction, right? And I think the best ways to always scale in, right? You can always put, if the trade goes in your favor fast, you can size in. But right now, what I'm doing is I always have fixed size for most of my trades. For swing trades, I have a smaller size because right now we don't have a proper swing market. And for scalps, I have a higher size because I have a more control over it. So the more control I have, the higher the conviction and the size. The less control I have, the lower the size. Which dog breed am I rooting for? The American cat. Oh my, come on, man. Come on, man. If you had to short mashed potato, oh man, that's a tough one. I cannot do that. I need to go long on both. Do I take entries on all the trades? Yeah, I take trades which I don't even alert when I'm trading. Like I took couple other trades today, which I didn't talk about because some trades are riskier. Like I took EXPE. It was in the watch list. Same strategy. Was waiting for the dip around this area, and kind of got a dip at 175, and then kind of started scaling out here. But I didn't alert it. It was too much. Yeah, thanks everyone. No, that was a real thing, man. I wasn't joking about PANW. Why would I joke about a scalp? Look at this 5 minute chart. So when I alerted, it was right here, and it was the premiums moved a little. They didn't move a lot, but this was a 3 point scalp. It's pretty good. Weak call options. It's all weekly, man, unless stated. What Xmas present am I getting? I need to get a new mic. Yeah, I don't rely on MACD or RSI on shorter time frames. I look at them on daily and weekly. They matter there. But for intraday trades, they don't matter a lot. Oversold or overbought would matter though. Fast hands. I mean, you just practice, man. Full send everything, yes. Do you have a go-to TA setup that you prefer over most? Yeah, man. I love this trading this flag breakout. This one, which I was like so happy that I thought it will break out today. Same flag here, and then bull flag here. That's my favorite setup to trade. I think my win rate on this setup is really good because you can easily manage your risk here. So yeah, Active Trader Pro doesn't have hotkeys, but it sucks. Yeah, right. I've actually written to Fidelity and I'm like, can you guys please add Active Trader Pro? Sorry, hotkeys on it. They just say yeah, but never respond. Zeph, I forgot about the mic, man. Yeah, I'll catch up on that one. What's my price target for MRNA? I'm not an analyst, man. What stock is your favorite to trade? Um, I think MRNA is definitely one of the more favorite ones, and then coin. I like trading coin a lot. Um, I like Tesla too, but Tesla has burned me in the past, so I don't trade it. Yeah, they never do, man. They never respond. Honestly, I'm thinking about switching to Trade Station. Yeah, but I'm just used to it, man. I'm also outdated. Yeah, I study the charts. Like I'm looking at daily chart. I'm looking at completely what's going on, how this stock acts, and I go back. I look at performance, like just see how the price action is, how deeper the pullbacks are. All that information matters. I killed on Tesla when you were live trading. Oh yeah, man, Tesla was a really good call. Yeah, that was a really good trade, man. The other day, right? Yeah, it was a really good trade. When was that? Last Friday, right? I think it was this breakout right here. Yeah, it was really good trade. Santa loves you. I love Santa back. Have a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, everyone who joined. Yep, no problem. Wow, there's still 170 people watching. Why you guys have no other work? Yeah, thank you, Otis. How far do I go? I mean, I go all the way back, man. Look at weekly charts, look at monthly chart, wherever I can find information. Yeah, I know. I need to eat dinner, man. No, I'm not West Indian. I'm Indian. Let's pump up drip people. Let's see if I can talk to some other traders. See if I can bring them on. I mean, maybe we will make high, man. Like the start looks really good. Just broke out of this basing, right? For a while it was just consolidating here, and now hope it retests so I can buy more. But I mean, look how clean the targets are, guys. Like everything is clean here. No BS, no pump and dump. Thanks. No Indian restaurants nearby. Man, there's so many Indian restaurants nearby. I'm not even kidding. Oh man. All right, I think I'm gonna end this one. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys and gals, and everyone else who joined the party. Anybody I really like and follow on Twitter, and do we ever piggyback them and call? Piggyback them? No. I don't like trading, like looking at uh, other people call out because it messes up with my conviction, and I don't like that. I like looking at charts to get ideas, but I don't really trade any other setups apart from what I have in mind because my system is not the same as others. All right, folks. Happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for asking all the good questions. Hope you have a wonderful night. Hope you have wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. Hope you enjoy your day tomorrow. Forget about trading. Um, it's really one of the best days of the year. So make sure you spend as much time with family as you can, and market will be open Friday, and hope you eat a lot. We all need this now. A lot of people have not met their families for a long time. Like I have been kind of in that situation as well. So um, take this time to thank everyone in your family for whatever you have going on. Always be positive. There's always a negative person no matter what you do, but you have to be positive and think positive always. Always remember that um, glass is half full. Okay. All right. So on that note, good night, folks.